Hello once again. Hey, it's Dan here in Virginia. It's been quite a while, but I thought I'd make a quick little video about a little Bixler upgrade. A long time ago I did this build. I have two other videos on the Bixler. One is the build and one is the complete build. This one I thought I'd talk a little bit about. I flew it the other day. I don't fly it much, but I took it the other day. I took it out. I took it as my warm-up plane. I usually like to take two planes, which recently has been the Carbon Z Cub. I take it primarily, and then I take one of these smaller planes as a backup plane or warm-up plane. But anyway, I drug out this old Hobby King Bixler, took it out. You remember the last time, if you look at my other videos, you'll see some things I've changed. I've changed this propeller. This is now, I like three-bladed propellers. And this is a master air screw, three bladed obviously, but 8x6 master air screw. It runs real nice. It makes a nice screaming sound when you crack the throttle. So if you recall from my other videos, you may recall, you can look and see on the front here, I used electrical tape, black electrical tape. And I simply wrapped this around the nose to help protect this, because this is going to get banged up. You can see mine got banged up once. Well, that was the air vent. That was the mud scoop I used to talk about. Since I filled that in, I had it all wrapped up. And if you can do a good job of wrapping, but it looks real nice when you get finished. But when you wrap plastic or electrical tape, of course it stretches as you wrap. And then this thing hangs up in the ceiling. I went to get it out, and it's all sort of scrunched up and wrinkly and starting to come off. And I flew it that way, but it's certainly doesn't look good, and it's not very aerodynamic. So she flew just fine, but I got to thinking, I said, hey, put your thinking cap on. There must be some way to make another sort of a radome protective cover for this plane. How would you do that? Well, excuse me. I came home, thought about it, and I said, hey, how about an old thing that you haven't done in probably in well over 50 years you haven't tried. It's called paper mache. Now, you probably haven't done it either since you was a kid in grade school or preschool or whatever, but you can make things, quite a few things, out of paper mache. So I went on YouTube, looked around. Sure enough, there's lots of mainly ladies making kids art projects, and elementary school teachers make stuff out of paper mache. So I said, what the heck, give it a try. Well, paper mache is you just get old newspapers and you can cut it or tear it into strips that are about 1 inch or 3/4 inches wide. And then you have to make some glue. And if you look online, I won't go into all of them, there's all kinds of glue recipes. But the basic one I used, I took some of this glue all from Elmer's. You take equal parts of that and you mix equal parts of sort of warm water and whip them up in a bowl that you get from the kitchen. It doesn't take much. I used a whole bottle of this. It's way too much. This is 4 fluid ounces, so you only need about 2 of those, 2 ounces of water. Whip it up in a bowl, and you got all these strips of newspaper. You dip the strips in the glue, and you come over here and you wrap this. Well, before you start wrapping, get some saran wrap. I don't have any with me. Good old saran wrap, you know, that thin stuff, and you put it all over this nose cone, all the way back to here. Saran wrap. Then you take your strips, and you dip them in there, and you start wrapping this thing. Just get them on, smooth them out. It's a real mess. It drips all over, so you gotta have an extra rag around, wipe your hands off, wrap them all around. Just get it covered, clear back to about here, and then you have to, I put a fan, excuse me, I put a fan, you have to let that dry for about 3 hours. Then come back, and I did another coat of paper mache all over that. And then put the fan on it, let it dry for about another 3 hours. In the meantime, I read online also where if you're going to use this newspaper, it absorbs the paint too much if you're going to paint it. They said the final coat, put on some computer paper. So I got some computer paper, did another coat with heavier duty computer paper, put on there, wrap it all around, put it on the fan, let it dry, and then now you're done. So what you end up with here is the nose cone. It looks like this. This is it. That's the way it looks, just like that when you're done. That's the paper mache nose cone. But of course, it was come clear back to here. So then you got to peel back the saran wrap, keep peeling, and you got to stick like a sharp knife or something underneath here to sort of finally you get this thing to pop off. Boom. Get it to come off, and there is a perfectly shaped nose cone for your Bixler. Now you do have to you have a rough edge. You got to cut it off with a scissors or a craft knife, cut it back to where you want, and so that's what I did. So here's my nose cone. It's messy, it takes a long time to make, a little bit. I think this thing weighs about 4 grams, and I put some what they call sanding sealer on it, liquid based sanding sealer over top of the paper so it won't absorb so much paint. I think maybe by the time I get it painted it will probably weigh 15 grams. So if that's the case, I'll just go inside here. I got the little weights, gonna pop them out. They're 1/4 ounce a piece, knock them out of there. But this is really pretty stout. You know, you can see some rough bumps and so forth in it, but it fits on there. You got a conformal nose cone. It fits just perfect. You go on like that, it'll probably stay on. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to again take some electrical tape and I'm going to wrap it around here, a little bit around, just 2 layers of electrical tape, make a nice line around here just to hold that on. That's all you need. And I think I'm going to spiff it up. Instead of black, I'm going to go with a bright yellow. I got this stuff here, Valspar Project Perfect Paint and Primer. I highly recommend this stuff. This is called Gold Abundance. If you see my airplanes, you know I always paint the tips of the propellers on the puller type, tractor type planes, paint them. This is what I paint them with. Great stuff. I got it at Lowe's or Home Depot or something like that. So I'm going to paint this yellow. I think it'll give it greater visibility, and we'll see how it goes. But anyway, that's my latest mods and maybe upgrade, I hope, to the Bixler 3. Still fun to fly. I was amazed at the field the other day. There were quite a few guys were flying these. You know, they come with a nice FPV cockpit, a special thing made out of plywood. I'm not into FPV, but if you are, I think this is a great plane. I mentioned before that it has landing gear, everything, but I went without it. The landing gear comes with the wheels. Or the big thing about it, the wheels are too darn small. The wheels are only like 1.5 inch wheels, and you need about 3 inch wheels to get off the ground and grass. So anyway, that's the latest story on the Hobby King Bix 3. If you got one and you're still fooling with it, then maybe you can take a few of these tips. And anyway, I hope this helps you. Fly safe out here.